Here is the next canvas. This is a 60 by 60, like the other one. I'm sorry for the glare, and there's a lot of wrinkles in it. Let me show you the back. See, it needs to be ironed, but I wanted to show you guys this since I had the other one out. So this is for Rigby. I'm probably going to change this section. It's white on the canvas, and as you know, Rigby was black. He also has Rigby's face mark, but Riggs was here. And it looks just like him. So as I'm kitting up the next one, I will tell you guys what has happened and all of that stuff. So I'm hoping this canvas really turns out. I know there's going to be a lot of, let me see if I can show you. So here's the colors. I didn't bring the drills upstairs. So whites, purples, grays, browns, more gray. There's not actually any, oh, there is black. So what is the black? Number 3. So this is all black. So as I was thinking, because I have extra blacks, I might just do this whole thing. I don't know how though, because I don't know how to do the shading. Although I suppose if I did these the same color they're supposed to be, and this the same as it's supposed to be, and then just, I don't know. If you guys have any tips, let me know. And that is Rigby. All right, I'll be back. All right, I got everything in order. Got my paper, got my containers, got my drills. I spilt some drills from my old project. So let's get going. Yeah, like I said, I have not been here since, I believe, Christmas. I gained a bunch of subscribers. I would like to say thank you. I have also gained some subscribers while I have been gone. And I want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you for joining. I have also not lost any subscribers while I have been gone. And I want to say thank you for that. Life has been really hard. Life was hard and then it got really hard. I have not really been present for the month of February. And I'm just starting to feel like myself. So what happened in January? So as you know, Rigby, we had 2 bad weekends in December with Rigby. He was sick, and then the second weekend there was something wrong with his face. His face swelled up. So we got that fixed. And then I think the first week of January was good. And then around the 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere around there, we noticed that he was starting to get fat. And we're like, okay, your diet hasn't changed. Maybe you're getting older. Whatever, right? I mean, he was almost 14. In 4 months, he would have been 14. And he was still wanting to go for walks. He was still eating, all that stuff. So we weren't worried about that. But then he started to not go to the bathroom when we were going for our walks. This is kind of graphic. I won't get too bad. I won't get personal or anything. Usually when we went for a walk, he would go to the bathroom 3 times. Pee on absolutely everything, right? His pee was never a problem. He's got to mark absolutely every single tree he sees. But he was not going to the bathroom. And we're like, okay, you know, maybe he's old. He's got back issues. Maybe that's why. But he was still eating just as much. So it kept getting worse and worse. And probably around January 18th or 19th, so a week later, he started to not be able to climb the stairs. So he didn't want to go outside. He wanted to go outside, but he couldn't figure out how to get down the stairs. And then once he was outside, he was fine. Walk back and forth, trample through the mud, get stuck in the mud, which now that I'm looking back, I am grateful for. But he still wasn't going to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, this is weird. He was going to the bathroom once a day, which is a drastic change. So we knew something was wrong with his stomach. And I just kept pushing it, and in my mind, right? Because I knew he couldn't have surgery. Like I said, he was almost 14. If he would have had stomach surgery, it would have cost a boatload of money for a 14-year-old dog. The surgery would not have fixed his back problems. He injured one of his discs, or 2 or 3, I'm not sure how many, a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. And every once in a while, his back would affect his back legs. So I knew that having stomach surgery was not going to fix his back. So we just kept pushing it off. And finally, the boyfriend was like, okay, we have to take him to the vets, and we're going to have to let him go. So we went to the vets, and we said, okay, we need an appointment. And they asked us if we wanted to wait another week, and I said no, because it was his stomach, right? And it wasn't fair to him. He was having trouble breathing. He was so fat. He looked pregnant. I'm not sure if you guys know, Rigby had, his body shape looked like the boxer. So his waist was really cinched. His, he was all barrel chested, and he had no ab muscles showing, all that stuff. He just looked like a boxer. He had the lab head, lab chest, and boxer body. And he was fat. Like, I would have thought he would have had 5 puppies inside of him. But knowing that he was a boy, I knew he was not pregnant. So, that was January 22nd, I think. So that day, in the meantime, I had not been sleeping because I was so worried about the dog. I have not slept in the past 2 months a decent night since Christmas. And that was making my mental stability worse. So the 22nd was a Thursday, I believe. I didn't sleep that night because I wanted to spend as much time with Riggs as I could. I was lifting him into the bed to get, for the nighttime. He didn't want to sleep with me that night, so I laid with him on the floor. I didn't sleep. Friday morning, I don't think I took him for a walk that day. I mean, I wanted to. So I remember being in the car thinking, oh, I should have taken him for a walk. I should have taken him for one more walk. And I didn't. So we took him for a drive because he loves the car. He loved being in the car. He stood up the whole time looking out the window. And he was excited. He had his head out the window, even though it was like minus 15 outside. He was just loving it. We took him to McDonald's. He had a hamburger. Loved it. Ate the whole thing. Ate the whole thing almost in one swallow, as he does. And then we took him to the vets. Hold on, I have a drill stuck in my container here. So we get to the vets, and this is where things got really bad because I think I've told you guys that Rigby was starting to get dementia. So I get him out of the car. He fell out of the car because his leg gave out. He was laying on the ground, and I'm like, oh, come on. This is not, I just want this to go well. I just want this to go, you know, with no stress, nothing. So we had to pick him up off of the road. Got him up. He started walking. Like I said, he's got to pee on absolutely everything before he gets to the door. Got him in the door, and for some reason, my vet's office, this never made sense to me. The vet's office has about 10 stairs that you have to use to get to the front desk. I don't understand why a vet's office would have stairs where most likely you have dogs that can't be carried, and yet you have stairs that the dog has to climb up to. So we were kind of struggling to get Rigby up. There was an old man. He was sitting in the waiting room, and he's like, come on, puppy, you can do it. Come on, come climb the stairs. So that was kind of helping because Riggs was struggling to get up the stairs. So we get him in there. We signed him in. We sat down. We were talking to Riggs. The girl came over and she said, okay, I'm going to take him back so I can get his IV ready. So she takes him. Sorry. She takes him to the back to get his IV. And then she comes out and she's like, okay, you can come and see him now. And I knew as soon as I got back there in the room that Rigby had no idea where he was and who these people were. And I had never seen him so scared. And I kept telling him, it's okay, it's okay. Things are gonna be okay. I said, oh, I didn't think I was gonna cry, guys. I told Rigby he was gonna go play with Ringo now, which was my puppy. It was Rigby's brother. I said, Ringo's waiting for you, and you guys are gonna go play and run. And he's waiting for you, and then you guys are going to wait for me, and I am going to eventually come and get you guys. You have to go be good boys and have some fun first before I come and see you. So I put his leash in my coat pocket, and it's still there today. I can't take it out. The doctor asked if we were ready, and the boyfriend hugged him and said some words to him, and I hugged Rigby. And I kept saying, just remember what I said. Just remember that you're going to go play with Ringo for a little bit, but I'm going to come and get you. It's going to be okay. I'm going to come and get you. So, hold on a second. 3, 6, 9. I'm missing 2 colors. I don't know what I did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I thought I was missing some colors. So I was hugging Rigby, and Rigby's head is about as big as mine. And he had a really wrinkly face. Like, he was just all, you know how boxers have jowls and their neck has a lot of extra skin and all that stuff. I was holding on to it. I was holding on to Rigby's face so hard that my hands and my shoulders and my arms hurt for about the next 5 days because I was just so tense holding on to his face. And he didn't cry. I wasn't hurting him. I felt like afterwards, I feel like I was probably hurting him, but I knew that he couldn't feel anything. And I was holding onto his face. And she said, okay, I'm going to give him the shot now. And his heart is going to stop. And it's going to be fast. And she gave him the shot. And he put his head on my shoulder like he does. Because if you say, give me a hug, he will put his head on your shoulder. So I told him, give me a hug. And she gave him his shot. And I just felt everything leave. Everything came out of him. His spirit and his breath and his heartbeat and just everything. I felt it leave. And I was holding on to him still as tight as I was before she gave him the shot. I was holding on to him. And my legs gave out and I couldn't let go of him. And that was that. We had to leave. The doctor said that he had gained almost 15 pounds because he wasn't going to the bathroom. When he went to the vets that day, he weighed 83. And at home, he weighed anywhere between 65 to 70. So that was a lot of weight to be carrying. We came home. And I just cried and cried and cried. I kept losing my crap. I couldn't do anything. I came home. He wasn't here. He wasn't waiting for us. So remember a few minutes ago I said that he was walking in the mud and he got stuck. Well, his footprints are in my yard still to this day. His footprints are in my yard. And when we were coming home, and every time I go outside, I see his footprints, and they just make me start crying all again. Because it's all that I have. It's all that I have left of him. Physically. And everybody says, oh, I want it to heat up. I want the snow to melt, etc., etc. I don't want the snow to go away because his footprints are going to disappear. And when I go outside, they're not going to be there anymore. Today is February 19th. It's been almost a month. The snow has melted in the backyard, and for some reason, there are new dog prints all over my backyard. I don't know how they get there. I know that they're Rigby's because they're huge. I made a copy of his foot with plaster. As you can, this is sand. I haven't cleaned it yet, but this is his hand. You can see how big it is. And these footprints are all over my backyard where the snow used to be. And it's kind of freaking me out because there's more and more every day. And I'm like, there should be less. So this paw print is from the side of my house, which is where he would walk back and forth, checking out the traffic and stuff. And I was having such issues thinking his footprints were going to disappear. And I couldn't go outside because I didn't want to see them. I have heard Rigby's tail on the floor And I have heard Rigby cleaning his paws because he used to be really noisy because, like I said, he has a lot of face skin. So when he's cleaning his feet, it was really noisy. And I heard that the other day. The boyfriend says that he has heard Rigby bark. I haven't heard it. It's just been really hard. I was leaving the house like 3 times a day to go on our walks, and now I don't leave the house because I don't have a reason to. And also, I'm kind of afraid to walk in my town by myself. Like I said, Rigby was a 70-pound dog, and he was big, and people used to cross the street to not walk by him. I didn't realize how big he was because, you know, he's just my puppy, and he's just beside me, right? So I didn't notice. We won't be getting another puppy. I absolutely can't do this. I don't want to raise a puppy. I do not. I really, really hated the puppy stage. And in order for me to travel to the doctors for my health, it's easier if we don't have a dog at home because we had nobody to babysit. So we couldn't stay overnight, and we had to kind of hurry home to take care of the dog, right? So just for my health, we won't be getting a puppy. If I was ever get a puppy, it would be another large one, but we're not going to. I haven't cried about this in almost a week. I'm starting to get better, I think, but there's just days that are hard. I know next week's going to be hard because it's been a month that he is gone. There's a cat outside my door yelling. So that's where I have been. So I have not been ignoring you guys. I have just tried to ignore life in general because this is hard. I have never had an experience like this before. I have never lost a person in life. And even when I lost Ringo, when I had to put Ringo to sleep, and when I had to put Milo to sleep, Milo was 16. He was almost 17. It wasn't this hard. And I don't know. Even being home alone without the dog here is kind of difficult some days. It's especially hard at nighttime. I still tell Rigby, I still tell him when it's time to go to bed. I say, okay, come on, let's get in bed. It's time to go to bed. It's time to sleep. I still do that. So, yeah, that's where I have been. I know there's a few of you who know this story because we have talked in the past month, and I really appreciate all that you have done for me and the chats we've had. And I appreciate you being patient with me. I just don't. I don't know. I'm just not the same person that I used to be. And heartache changes you. Pain changes who you are. you know, life changes, and I just don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. Because I used to wake up at 7:30, get the dog up, we would go outside, we would come back, I would go to bed, you know, I would get up, I would feed him again, I would take him for his walk. He would get our leftovers. We have so many leftovers in the fridge now because that used to be part of his meal. Like for dinner, he would get our leftover potatoes or our leftover pasta or vegetables, whatever. And now I have so much left in the fridge. And I didn't realize how much he was eating. I used to spend the afternoon walking with him. We used to go for an hour walk. And now I don't go. And, you know, I had a routine at nighttime between 7 and 9 that we would go outside. We would come in. We would make lunch. He would get part of that. And now we don't even do that. We went to McDonald's last week, and I'm like, well, I guess there's nobody to buy a cheeseburger for. So that was kind of difficult. It's just weird. I've never been in this situation before where somebody is there and then they're not. Like, I've lost my friend, the girl that I used to talk about when I first started this channel, when I used to talk about the grief about losing a friend. But she's not really gone. She's still living. She has left. And now she is in a bad situation, but she's not gone. There's always a chance that she could come back. I don't think she will, but with Rigby, I am never again going to see him. I am never again going to smell his stinky, dirty ear. I told him that when I was hugging him before I could let go of him. I said, "Oh my God, your ears stink so bad." Oh, poor puppy. So, that is why I bought this canvas of my puppy. And here's Eleanor. I'll show you. This weighs 5 pounds, 4.5 pounds. Here's Rigby. This is all we have now. The vet, I was really upset because I was grieving and I was mad. And because Eleanor Rigby, you would think that his first name was Eleanor, right? Well, the vet kept calling him a girl, and it was making me mad because I'm like, no, his name is Rigby, and he is a boy. I didn't say this to the vet, but it was making me mad because she called us and she said, "You can come pick Eleanor up now. She's ready." And I'm like, no, she's not a boy. She's not a girl. So this is the canvas I bought. A Ringo, and I think I will do this one first because it's colorful, and then I will try to work on Rigby. If you guys have any suggestions on how to change the color of the drills for rigs, I would appreciate it because I've never done that before, especially not in such a big section. So I'm going to try to make videos more often again. I also have to try how to cut this piece off like this so that his foot looks better. And his foot huge. Anyways, there's a cat outside screaming because I have the door closed. Thank you to everybody who has stuck around. Thank you to everybody for listening to my story. I'm sorry if I cried and made a fool of myself, but I thought because Rigby has been on this channel quite a few times and a lot of people have said how much they enjoy Rigby talking, that I would share his story with you guys. So, oh, my watch is stuck. So, yeah, that's where I have been. I might not post as many videos as I did last year, but I am still here. I have not forgotten you guys. I have just kind of needed a break from life, and I'm sure that all of you who have ever lost somebody understands. So I guess that's it. I will update you guys on this canvas. Thank you for sticking around as I kit up, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.